Hello, I'm Rich Austin, president of Referral Exchange Networking. And as you know, we firmly believe that one of the most important keys to small business success is to keep learning. Your competition may have more employees and bigger budgets, but they aren't necessarily smarter than you. Keeping ahead of the curve and knowing more than anyone else costs you next to nothing, and it makes you stand out from your competition. This is why we include a weekly educational component in our chapters every week. We call them our weekly BS Fertilizer Applications. BS in this case standing for Business Success. So let's get right to it. This week's BS is entitled Questions. I've been reading an interesting book by Frank Sesno entitled Ask More: The Power of Questions to Open Doors, Uncover Solutions, and Spark Change. In business, we should be in the business of asking questions. Carl Ransom Rogers was an American psychologist and among the founders of the humanistic approach in psychology. As a professor, he thought students should not be given unasked for information before they have questions. This is an approach we should consider when working with new or prospective clients. From this perspective, we should focus on asking the right questions rather than telling someone what we do or what our product does. Knowing the right questions we should be asking is probably the most important thing we can do. Good questions are structured to glean the information needed. Whether we're trying to solve a problem, learn something, or get to know someone better, our questions should be deliberately designed for what we're trying to learn. Smart questions make smart people. We ask questions for any number of reasons: to obtain information, to hold someone accountable, to educate, to explore stories, ideas, and concepts, as well as to identify problems. Questions can also be used to build trust and community. There are many different types of questions. There are diagnostic questions. They start broad and then zero in. They're used to describe, compare, and quantify. There are empathy questions. These are designed to let us imagine the world from the perspective of someone else, to find out what makes them tick, what they think, what they fear, and what they feel. There are also bridging questions. These are used to connect with people who may be reluctant to talk to us. They're intended to get them talking and establish a rapport. There are many kinds of questions, but perhaps the most important one from a business perspective is the strategic question. The strategic question is seeking to survey the big picture. What are the long-term goals of the person or their business? What are their immediate priorities as well as their future concerns? Strategic questions should be designed to uncover alternatives, reveal consequences and risks, and to sharpen focus on the larger objective. They should force you to challenge conventional wisdom as well as your own or your client's biases. Before your next business meeting, take the time to carefully consider what question you should ask and then write it down. Prioritize each one and be sure to work them into the meeting. Use open-ended questions rather than yes or no. Open-ended questions will provide context. Anthony Robbins, motivational guru, has an excellent piece of advice. He says, the world is made up of introverts and extroverts, and most meetings or conversations are dominated by extroverts, often at the expense of the quality of interaction and insights. Next time you're in a meeting, read the room and see who's dominating the conversation, and then reroute the conversation by asking someone that's been fairly quiet, what are your thoughts on the topic? Finally, don't leave the meeting without your wrap-up question. You will all need to know what the next steps are and who's responsible for each. Establishing deadlines and lines of communication are critical to keep everything on track. Voltaire, French Enlightenment writer, historian, and philosopher, wrote, "Judge of a man by his questions rather than by his answers." Surprisingly good business advice, too. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out and let me know. Also, if you're interested in learning more about how you can be a member of Referral Exchange Networking to grow your business, I'd love to talk with you. Finally, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on our weekly fertilizer applications to grow your business. Until next week, I hope everyone stays safe. Thank you, and I will obviously talk to you later.